Hello, everyone, and welcome to the weekly market outlook from the 15th of September to the 19th of September. And this is your host, Louis Damson from the Syndicate Trading Hub. And here we have the GBP USD on the daily time frame. And what are we looking at? As we can see, the GBP USD is in a serious uptrend. Okay, it has been in an uptrend when as it got its low over here. Okay, it reacted. Bears entered the market at this point at 1.32996 and were able to move price up until they were stopped. Okay, they were stopped around 1.35692, and they were able to also, okay, get price, and they are trying to run the stops of these bears that entered the market. All right. So were they successful? All right. They have tried the first time, the second time, the third time, the fourth time to run the stop of these bears, the people that got into the market here, because you see the market is trending down. Okay. So when the market got here, there are bears that entered the market at from this point, okay, to run price down. Okay, and these bears, they have put their stop loss maybe somewhere up here. All right, and as the market came, these bears, it was not able to make another high, so these bears also entered when they showed this weakness. So would these bulls that entered the market here be able to overrun the bears here? All right, and as you can see on Friday, there was a very tough um contest that happened, a very tight auctioning that happened over here, as bears were able to move the price down, okay, trying to run the stops of these bulls, all right. But what happened? The bulls stepped in because they were stronger to push price back to the top over this resistance. But the bears also stepped out their game to push price down. So we are in a sort of a fixed year, okay. But as I can see from here, the bears are stronger because of the fact that they have been able to, when the bulls, when the bulls are stronger here because when the bears bring the price down, they are able to reject it. And as you can see, this is deep into the PIMA, and they have been able to wrestle the price up, and they have been able to do it again. So the likelihood of the bulls winning the fight is high, okay, to test this and break this and this higher low here, okay, to make another higher high, to see price rally to our point at 1.36294. So that's what we are waiting to see. When price opens on Monday, we are hoping to see what the bears or the bulls at this juncture, who is going to win the auction, who has more orders to win. So you as a trader, what should you be waiting for? All right, you should be waiting for the close of this market that was on Friday to see if they are able to run it. If it runs, comes, and the bears are not being paid and the bulls run the market up, please follow the market up. All right. But if it opens on Monday, okay, and it goes up, the market goes up to test and it's not successful and it comes down, all right, then you are looking at the bears running the market below or to this close of the market here, which is at, when I put my cursor there, it's at 1.35261. Okay, so that's the case. So you should be very careful to with what you are going to do, whether the bears are able to resist price and push price to come and test this close at this 1.35261, or the bulls are able to overrun this resistance over here, okay, at 1.35822 to see if price can push up. So you should be looking at the close of Friday. Okay. You should be looking at the close on Friday, which is on the 12th of September. You should be looking at the close and what price is able to do. If price goes and rejects it, then it's likely coming to test the low or the midpoint, okay, to see if bulls should be able to respond again. All right. So that is it for on GBP USD. So now let's move on to the NASDAQ. And on the NASDAQ, all right, we have a very serious price discovery Okay, there's a new all-time high that was printed on Friday, but it was rejected, okay, at the monthly H4. And if you follow the Camarilla equation, you know that the monthly H4 is a serious point. It's a serious point for either a serious resistance or a breakthrough, okay, to test our price here at 24,765. That would be our target, all right? But as we saw, when it got there, there was a little rejection. Okay, so we are waiting to see if this rejection will follow through. But as we can see, price has broken this high to make another high. Okay, although it has been rejected a little. Even if you face a little ranging market, this market is all-time bullish. All right, this market is very bullish. And until proven otherwise, until we print a new lower low, you should be buying the dips on this market. And the next term target that we are looking at is at 24,765.9. All right. As um we have already gotten our target here at 23,881. As I've always been mentioning, if you have been following me, all right. So price has been able to break it, and now it has tested even this target at 24,134.6. So if price rejects over here, then price is coming to test again the 23,881, okay, or the 23,774, all right, to get energy to move up again, or we will see, as we are always following the market until proven otherwise. So that is it on GBP USD. So it's the same. You should be looking at the close of the market. When price comes, you should be looking at the close of the market, okay, the highs and the lows. Okay, so you can mark it on your chart and you can trade off from it. So price, what will price be? Would there be a gap down? Would there be a gap up? We don't know until the price prints. But if there's a gap up or there's a gap down, that will also influence whether the bulls are serious or the best two are serious. Okay, but you should be waiting to see how price tests the close, since it's closer rather to the close of the market or the lows of the market. You should be looking at that point to see how price react to it. If price is able to break it, okay. So let me this video will be a little longer because it's taking the whole week. Okay. So let me draw something. So as if this is the low of the market, okay, and this is the high of the market. Okay. So maybe you are in your 15 minutes time frame, price breaks and price comes and tests here, goes like it's going, okay. It's coming to break and it rejects, okay. Comes here, you have to wait, okay. Wait for price to test it again. And if there's a successful test, okay, you enter on the pullback up, okay, to maybe test the highs again. Then if price comes here and price goes and it rejects, okay, it comes and it's coming down, you can follow it to come and test the low here, because price may range because it has made a new all-time high. But if price breaks this, okay, comes for a successful test and it goes up, when it's coming again and it turns again, you can follow it up to whatever target that you may think of. Okay. But it's unlikely that it will reach this 24,765. But if you go into the lower time frame, you may see other value areas that you may trade from. All right. So that is it on NASDAQ 100, and that's the weekly outlook on it. We are looking for a bullish week also, or probably at least a ranging week. Okay, because the price is still bullish, but we are not expecting the price to become a downtrend. No, if the worst case scenario is for it to be ranging, and if it's ranging, what is your purpose? Your purpose to be fading the highs. Okay, and if it breaks, then you trade along. Okay, so let's look at US oil to see what US oil too is doing. And as I can see here on Friday, price, as I said, this market is in an all-time low. Okay, it is very bearish. It's looking very bearish for the year. All right. So as you can see, I told you that any bullish advancement is an opportunity to sell. Okay, it's an opportunity to sell the rips. Okay. All right. So as you can see, the market was trying to make go up and it's returned. It tried again and it was heavily resisted, okay, by the bears. And when it got to this point, the bulls also resisted and it's hanging in almost the middle bar with a tilted side for the bears. All right. So we are waiting to see what the print of Monday or Sunday today, okay, the print would look like, okay, at around 9 p.m. there. We are hoping to see the first print. Okay, if the the bulls are going to test, but you should be looking at the close of this market too, all right? Okay, of oil to see if they are going to run, bears are going to run this price down and you can trade it down to 60.70, all right? Or if they are able to, come here and resist, okay, you can also trade up to any value target that you may think. But on the larger scale, oil is in a serious downtrend, okay? And we may likely finish this year in a downtrend around 56, 55, okay? So if you are scalping, then you get a bullish setup, you can do it. But if you are going on a long-term trade, like a swing trade, you are doing a position trade or an investment, okay, then you should be looking to sell a rip, okay, on oil um to be targeting 56 or $55 per barrel on oil. All right, so that is it on oil. So we are moving on to gold, and on gold we are seeing that gold is doing a reaccumulation. Okay, what I can see here, this is the monthly H5, which is the gold is very bullish. Okay, and as you can see, any advancement to the down is resisted. All right, and it's on the monthly H3. Okay, it's on the monthly H3, and this is sorry, it's on the weekly H3 and also on the monthly H4, and it has been resisting. So what does this mean? What are price manipulators trying to do? What are the big boys trying to do? You see, there was a big push through the all-time high, okay, through this all-time high over here, all right, on gold, and there was a big push, all right. So when gold gets to this at a certain point, people are going to take profit, all right. People are going to take profit. So this is profit taking. So don't follow the bullish frenzy and put in. You have to wait for a clear break of this structure or a clear break of this structure to know whether gold is coming down to test um 3,542 or coming to maybe test further at 3,049, or it will go up. All right. It will go up. As I said, the target is at 4,000, but precisely around 4,050. Okay. So, but you don't know when it's going to be. So we are just watching price action to see what is happening. And as we can see, this is profit taking. All the people that made took a trade here, okay, took a trade here, okay, they are all taking their profit at this point. All right. So don't go and add your money to the people taking their profit. All right. Don't go and add your money to the liquidity pool. Okay. You can be holding to look at the highs and lows to fade until gold gives a clear indication that it is ready, they they have accumulated, because they have sold all the gold that are in there, and right now they need the stock is running low, so they need to accumulate and buy gold from retailers. All right, they need to buy it from them. So that's what is happening. So they are just moving price up and down to facilitate trade. So this is a balanced market, and this is reaccumulation for price to move up again. So you have to have patience to see a clear break to be able to enter the market alongside. And that is it on gold. So let's look at Bitcoin, what Bitcoin is doing, and let's see what it has for us for the week. And Bitcoin has found this low, okay, has found this low over here on this at this point, okay, on this support. All right, it found it at it's founded at 109,458. Okay, it's founded at 109,458. Precisely that point, this support. All right, that's where it found it, and it's rejected, and it has been on a price discovery since. So we are going to test our 120 again, but as it stands now, there's profit taking also on Bitcoin. All right, so you have to exercise patience to wait for price to actually show you an indication. Okay, it can be possible that price may come down a little to get momentum to move up again. But as we can see, price has been able to run these stops. Okay, so all the people that got all the people that sold over here and over here when they saw this big momentum on Bitcoin, okay, they and thought the price was going to hell, all right, they were arrested and their stops were run. Okay, so if you enter the market here, you may put your stop up here. It is run. The people, the ones that also the best that entered over here, they are not being paid. The best that entered there, they are not being paid, and it's their stop losses that have moved price to this point. Okay, so there are also bears that are entering here again, like what they did here and what they did here. All right, so you have to be careful not to be part of them. All right, wait for a clear signal that is a bearish is it has formed another bearish movement before you join, or else you may join people like you may join traders like this one. You may join traders like this one. You may join traders like this one that had their stops run. All right. But as I can see, Bitcoin has picked up beautifully, and there's a likelihood or there's a possibility of it going to test the 120 again, and you may see from there if it can break it to advance and target this all-time high around almost close to 125,000 per coin. All right. But right now we are waiting to see how price react to 120, 198 or 120K per coin to see if it will break through or it will reject again to come and play in a range to gather more momentum and more fuel. So that is it on our weekly outlook on these five instruments. So I will urge you to not enter the market impatiently, not to be impulsive. All right. Just take your time and enter the market. Please subscribe and like this video. All right. Subscribe and like this channel and this video so that the algorithm can push it and recommend it to other people who may need this kind of insight to be profitable in the market. All right. So thank you and see you another time.